man.
And we back.
We are back.
We
And
back.
we
We
back. And
back.
we back. And we back.
Everybody here? Hello. Welcome to the show, everybody.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Life's been living for all of us, I'd say.
Life is going. I had RSV, so I am sick, given my voice.
I was in Philadelphia for a week.
You were
Me too.
black for a week.
I know. It was something.
A full experience.
It was a good time.
like
It was
that.
a very good time. I mean, like, it was a heavy time. There was a lot
Yes.
going on. But like, we had fun. We didn't not enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you. Welcome to the Brotherhood. You've
I
fully
know.
adopted in.
It's good.
Jasper, have you been up to anything?
Yeah, I was also in Philadelphia for 5 seconds before I drove to Delaware and was there for a week.
Yeah.
You're in Delaware?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
where you
we
were
got a-
last week.
low
Yeah.
brown bank action,
Well,
No.
brown bank action.
Yeah, other than that, I've been back. Just came back from a little brown bank holiday party that was pretty legit, and now we're
Nice,
here.
nice.
Yeah, we're here.
Vibes. We made it.
We are reviewing Danny Brown's Quaranta.
I don't know how to say it.
It's the first thing on the album is they say how to say it. Like,
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
Quaranta is 40 in Spanish.
Just
like,
repeat
or
it
in
over and
Italian.
over.
Yeah.
Italian, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're reviewing that. Good sleeper hit. We're running down to the end of the year, boys. We
Yes, very
a
quickly.
little behind the scenes thing. We really got to start figuring out what we're doing for the end of the year.
3 weeks away.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks away. We gotta start thinking about that.
We're getting there. We'll put it all together.
Yeah,
We're all in recovery mode for all of us.
yeah, we're still like in recovery mode, and we will be for a while because next week we have Hurricane Travis. And then,
That's gonna be a fun review.
Yeah. that will be a fun one. We'll have
Yes,
Travis
absolutely.
Smith.
Travis Smith. You know what?
It's not as
If
good as
anything, I would
Gibbs
take a
Smith last
Travis
year.
Smith. What is Smino's one? Is it like Christmas or something?
Yeah,
I'll take a
Christmas.
Christmas. But yeah, I guess we should jump into the news.
Yeah, let's
then.
jump into it. Purvis, rundown. We have some albums coming out. Tell us about the albums coming out, Purvis.
Yes, we have Nicki Minaj, The Return. It's been, I don't know how many years, but a while. She's coming out with Pink Friday 2. I'm assuming you're gonna get Lil Wayne, maybe Drake, maybe Ice Spice. They've been working together, but I'm excited. She is, I would say, considered one of the legends. So she's here again. Another old head vibes. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, she is a legend. I think the quality of her releases like definitely ebb and flow,
Yes.
right? So I'm excited to hear it. If I hear it's one of those ones that I'm gonna like sit and wait and be like, what do I hear about it? If I hear it's pretty good, I'll definitely dive in. But it's one of those things where it's like I want to have good expectations.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Uh,
Because I'm behind right now. I haven't even listened to the Lil Wayne 2 Chainz one. I'm behind.
It's
on
okay.
that, so it's okay.
I listened to like the first like 4 tracks. And I'm like, this is exactly what I thought it would be. Like, it's not like bad.
But pretty much wasn't surprised. By
Yeah,
what you got.
no, I wasn't. I was not.
Not
It
yet,
did
though.
not leave an impression.
All right. Well,
Is there anything else
no,
that
I'm not
came out
excited.
the last few weeks?
The last few weeks, I'm trying to think. It's been pretty slow, to be honest. I mean, we covered the Flute album.
Oh yeah,
that came out last episode. But since then, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think anything's dropped that's like
yeah.
been blowing anyone's mind.
No, yeah. It's been kind of quiet, but it kind of sometimes it is at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. We were on break. It works out. So
Yeah.
we also have Kenny Mason. The EP is actually already out, but he dropped Highway 9. I'm actually excited for that. That's the one I've been following. That's on a smaller scale, I would say. And then we have a bunch of singles.
All right.
We have Baby Keem and Fred again dropping Leave Me Alone. I feel like a Baby Keem album might be coming up soon. Most likely next year, though. But I think it's coming. It's in the works. I feel like it's been a lot of promotion.
I feel like it's
And yeah,
it's time. The tides are out for him.
exactly. We have Little Yachty and Southside come out with "Give Me the Light." Lil Yachty has not stopped pushing this year.
Yeah,
But I
no,
like most of it,
Yachty's had a
to
hell
be
of a
honest.
year.
Absolutely. We also have Dave and Jack Harlow coming out with another single from the Lyrical Lemonade album coming out. It is called "Stop Giving Me Advice." That is a combination of two people I would never expect, to be honest. Dave from England and Jack Harlow. So I'm willing to check that
Could be
out.
fun. Oh, that was a song that dropped in the last
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks.
was that the
Yeah,
song?
yeah, the song. And you know
That's his
what?
best song yet, in
That is
my
his
opinion.
best song. Yeah, no, it's a decent ass song. Like,
Now I gotta look. It's sad that I don't even know the name.
oh, I think it's
Um,
like,
loving on me, is that
yeah,
the name?
loving on
No, yeah,
me.
okay, loving on me. I think that's
Yeah.
his best song so far. I
I
liked it a lot.
totally agree. I think it's
Um,
a pretty decent song.
yeah, he does well in the pop scene. He could do well there. Um, and then we also have Lil Baby and French Montana coming out with "Okay," and I think the song is gonna be
Okay.
okay. And then we have our
Who's
Griselda
out here
boys.
listening to French Montana? Who's
It's gonna be
convincing little
okay.
baby to listen to French Montana? Who's doing this?
Look, somebody has an amazing manager. That's all I'm gonna say. And then we have our Griselda boys. We have a bunch of Griselda singles coming out.
Oh hell
We
yeah!
have Benny the Butcher coming exactly.
I'm
We're
so
always gonna
excited.
cover them. We have Benny the Butcher coming out with One Foot In. This is a lead up single to Everybody Can't Go that's dropping in January. Assuming it's gonna be a banger. We have Conway the Machine dropping Mind Tricks, and we have Bodie James dropping No Pun Intended. You are gonna get your Griselda fix this week.
That's gonna be good.
But yeah, that's all the albums and
Boldy is like
singles.
allergic to not dropping music.
Literally, he dropped an album this
Yeah, in
last
January.
year.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
called
this year.
Indiana Jones or something. Or
I liked it. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. Indiana Jones.
yeah,
Like that orange background. It was nice. I liked it.
yeah.
It's very low key. I'll say that.
I feel like every time I go into a Boldy James album, like I go in like thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go through his discography, and then I listen to an album, and then I'm like stuck on that album for like 2-3 weeks, and then I don't listen to Boldy James again for like a month, right? Like I
No,
did
yeah.
that with The Price of Tea in China. I listened to that for like 3 months all the time, and then like haven't gone back. Like,
It's a gift and a curse. It's so good you get stuck on
yeah,
the one album. But yeah, that's all the actual music. But what I did, although there wasn't a lot of music that came out, like we said, there was a ton of just stuff going on in the
yeah,
industry.
yeah. We haven't
So
been on for a while, so let's just go through. We got a bunch
I'm
here.
gonna fucking spitfire, rapid fire through all of these.
Yeah, let's go through it.
Snoop Dogg stopped smoking.
It started again, dude. Oh my god.
It started again.
Stoner
Um,
9/11 happening live in front of us.
That has to be some of the best promotion I've seen in my life.
I
That
think
was great.
yeah, no, it's insane. Shout out Justin Lake. He was my instructor at Chicago Portfolio School. He was the
Mhm.
guy who did the whole thing.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
amazing. I had no idea. That's so dope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's genius. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shout out
he's a
to him.
smart dude. Yeah.
Those 2 or 3 days, literally Twitter was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. No, there's no way. I thought it was gonna be an edibles line or something like that, but like,
Yeah, I heard that a
I
lot,
think
yeah.
everyone was like, "There's no way this is real," and we were right. We were right.
And we were right.
Stoner
But yeah.
9/11.
We had a Stoner 9/11. We also have Eminem. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. We have Eminem joining Fortnite as a character. We also have The Weeknd headlining their Fortnite festival.
What a nightmare
And-
world we live in. Like, what a
Man.
like,
This is all because people like OG Fortnite. This is
Yeah.
their fault.
what's going on with Fortnite? What's the thing going like?
They had a return of the OG map. So, like, when Fortnite first started,
Like in 2018, like when everyone was
yeah.
playing it at the Blue Store.
literally, they
Yeah.
brought that back. And like everyone just went insane. Like literally everybody was on Fortnite. I think it was like the highest amount of players on the game at a time ever. It was insane. But hey, Fortnite's not for me. So
Yeah, no, I was never really into it.
yeah.
But
On
yeah.
other bad news.
Oh yeah, let's
we
talk
have-
about this.
We have Kanye West dropped a single, a trash single.
Yeah,
Um,
one. I gotta say this.
Okay.
I think the fact that Kanye West dropped this under a pseudonym with not was it Ty Dollar Sign?
$5
Yeah, with Ty Dollar Sign. I think he dropped it under a pseudonym intentionally. Like
just for it, like, not to be included in
yeah,
his, like,
just like
discography.
no, like I mean, like because he knows that whatever amount of views he's gonna get, whatever amount of like people are gonna listen to it, it's gonna be less if he has his name on it. Yeah,
Possibly.
I think he knows like how radioactive he is, and he's like almost hiding.
I would believe it. I didn't even think about that. That's a good take. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't a good song, so that was everything.
Yeah, sure. Like that's the other thing.
Just we have Ice Spice. She has a chia pet now.
Yeah, this
and I feel like that just naturally makes sense. I'm not gonna lie.
No, like this. It's hard to like be like, yeah, this is fine, but yeah, no, this is fine. I think this is a very fun.
It's totally fine.
This is a very fun brand collaboration. This is.
She's got the afro.
The kind I can get down with, like.
And shout out to Chia Pet existing for 30, 40 years or something like
what
that. Now,
like
right?
what is a chia pet? Like I don't know. Like what kind of dark arcane magic? Like what kind of plant comes in a box?
How does this work? I actually have no idea how chia pets work. It was founded in 1977.
That's not good.
So
nothing good has happened.
Coming up on 50 years.
Jesus Christ.
Coming up on 50 years. But yeah, we also have. I just want to throw this in there. Yeet is a literal alien, and he said he communicates better with numbers. I feel like I'm doing an SNL skit.
Yeah. It's
we also
okay.
We don't even have to dive into
okay,
it.
like
I'm
that's
just
one of those.
Everything.
That's just one of those things where it's like, okay, like.
What is there to say? We have Twister rapping over literal gunshots.
Dude,
that's the most Chicago thing I've ever seen in my life.
Twister's a legend. I don't think people give Twister the respect he deserves for being just a complete and total unmitigated legend.
Yes, absolutely. And like this just solidifies it because it actually sounded really good. I'm not gonna lie. So I would definitely recommend looking that up. We have Kid Cudi. His comic covers has been revealed. Yeah. I think the first and second.
Yeah, issues. I'm interested in what this could be.
It looks great. Hey, I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I mentioned
a bunch of really interesting comics coming out next year, so I'm interested in this.
That's actually, since you brought it up very quickly, I was texting my brother in other news. The Blade trailer just came out, like the video game.
I know. I'm very excited. That looks very sick.
Yes. And my brother was talking about the comics are still active. Do you read those comics by chance? I don't know.
I mean, I haven't in a while. And when it comes to like comic, I tend to read more DC than Marvel. But I am intending on getting back into it in next year. Because there is 2 lines coming out that I'm very excited about. One is Ultimate Spider-Man coming back, which is like an alternate take on Peter Parker, where like he gets his powers like in his mid-30s.
Okay.
It's like a what if, like kind of like Spider-Man thing. And the other one, and I don't think it's kind of interesting because I think this is gonna blow your mind because you've consumed a lot of Spider-Man media.
We have been doing a lot of Spider-Man.
But like I don't think you know much about like the actual like comics that come from it. Did you know that like Peter Parker and Miles Morales have never had a comic book together?
I've actually heard about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about it, but I have been told.
So they're having in March the first Spider-Man, like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales like team book comes out, and it's written by the guy who did the amazing, well, not the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon that was on like in the early 2000s that everyone loves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a good time to get it. Like if that's what you like, it's a good time to get in.
I was going to say, you've been on the Spider-Man kick, so I know you're excited.
Yeah.
Did you beat it on hard yet?
Not yet.
Beat it on hard? Not yet.
Okay. No, not yet. I got Call of Duty, and that's just been dominating my playing time because I'm a meathead. Like it's so like. Here's the thing, like it's not. It's good in the same way Halo Infinite was good when it launched.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is, like the game. Like when you're playing the game, it's great. Like the gameplay is like very finely tuned. Like I
Mhm.
think the maps are redone very well. The thing is that there's just not enough maps. The UI sucks. Like everything
It is still
around
Call of Duty. Like,
everything around the game kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie about it. I don't really love like that they didn't do the perk system, but it is good. I do think it's like one of the better ones in the last few years. Like just for like second to second gameplay.
mhm. Honestly, I do agree with that as well. I feel like I use Call of Duty as just like a time waster to mindlessly do something, and it's entertaining enough. And on top of that, I never had the original Modern Warfare 2, so like these maps are technically new to me.
Yeah,
And like in reality, these maps were not built for multiplayer. In reality, like a lot of it is not built for the interactions that you have on like team deathmatch and stuff like that. But regardless, it's a fun play.
yeah,
It's a $70 DLC.
yeah,
In
more or
reality,
less.
but anyway.
All right.
Back to rap. I mentioned Baby King earlier,
Yeah.
but the Melodic Blue short film is finally out on Amazon, and it does feature 3 singles.
No.
But I don't know the names of them. But I heard them; they were pretty good.
Have you watched it yet?
I have not watched it. I do want to watch it. Have you,
Okay. No, not yet. I have not had the time to watch the Baby Keem
Jasper?
short film.
Have you been up to date on this at all?
I haven't listened to the Melodic Blue all the way through
Wow, really?
Wow.
Why?
I've done that at least once. Like,
because it's fucking annoying. That's why.
You don't like it? All
No,
right. Well, let's. I want to hear it. Why?
I don't care for his voice. I mean, like as a feature, he's fine, but hearing that across like 10 to 12 tracks, I'm just like, please.
Wow. So you don't like Baby King? This is
I
new
mean,
news to me.
it just didn't grab me when I listened to it. I haven't gone back to it since it came out, so maybe I'll give it another try at some point. But at the time, I was like, wow, I don't like this.
Okay, understandable. I mean, hey, I'm not mad at you at all.
yeah,
We're gonna have to recircle it.
that's interesting. I like the Melodic Blue. I just feel like he very clearly could do better.
Mhm.
And I thought it was kind of like a very like I don't think the sequencing in it is great. I think it's kind of
That's
like
fair.
has like a wacky kind of like sludgy kind of flow to it. But I think like he's very good. I think like a lot of the songs like work on an individual level. It's one of the few Travis features I like.
The do rag or something.
Do Rag
Do-rag?
Activity.
Direct
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah, do rag activity. That is a good song, actually. Yeah. But moving on to some other stuff, we have Donald Glover. He's promoting tea out in LA. We have Belly announcing a new album. Brandon,
Yeah.
I know you're excited.
Yeah. Well, I look. Belly's a Palestinian rapper.
Okay.
There's a lot going on. I think it's called like
Oh
Road to
man,
Bethlehem. Like
that's gonna be heavy.
I think Belly is primed for a moment. I wonder if he's finally gonna do a DJ Khaled diss.
I didn't even know him and DJ Khaled had like a thing.
It's DJ Khaled's Palestinian too, and he doesn't speak up about what happens there. And
Uh,
Belly calls him out for it all the time.
Interesting. I completely missed that. I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, so
Okay. I'm actually very excited
Belly
for this album
Tyler
now.
DJ Khaled diss.
Jesus, Tyler has a lot to say about DJ Khaled, so that'll be a
Yeah.
great feature.
Yeah, so no, I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a huge fan of Belly, way more than probably anyone. But like, but I think this is a moment for him.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited now, honestly. I didn't even consider all the like external factors going on.
Yeah,
Um but some other stuff going on. We have Ari Lennox has a custom baseball helmet now because someone threw a water bottle at her on stage. I don't know if you guys have seen it. She's been killing it. She has been killing it. Like her stage
she's
performance has been amazing.
she's on the list of someone I really want to see now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really
Is that the last person on Dreamville I haven't seen? I don't know.
Bro, have you
Well,
seen
you haven't
Earthgang?
seen Martin Luther King, so you know.
Okay.
No.
Just-
Ugh.
all right. All right. Okay. I'll give you that one. You know what? I'll give you that
Yeah.
one.
But have you seen Earthgang?
Oh no, I haven't seen Earth Gang.
And
That's
what
a good
about
point. I have
Boz?
not. I feel like Boz came on stage. Didn't he come on stage?
Does that
I
count?
guess I haven't seen his own act,
Yeah.
but like he's been on stage and we've
Yeah.
seen him live.
Oh yeah, no, he was an extensive part of that J. Cole Lala set we saw.
Yeah, and the tour,
Yeah.
the off season, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah. Moving on, Young Thug. Everything he says is an acronym now, because of because of court. So he is now young, truly humbled under God. He is also pushing positivity.
I agree with all this. Free Jeffrey.
I must say, his lawyer has to be
I've
one
been
of the best
I've been
lawyers out
yelling.
there.
I've been yelling that at Rachel. Like, I am truly humbled under God.
I mean, man, what a genius.
Free Jeffrey.
Yes, it is honestly free Jeffrey till I die.
Yeah.
And speaking, someone who collabs with a lot, Metro Boomin is here with an orchestra, and he is killing it. It sounds amazing. So
it does.
I want to go see that now.
That would be a very interesting thing I would like to see.
Did you all watch the stream or the video?
I didn't see the full stream, but I have seen like the clips of it. Did you see it?
I watched the first 2/3 of it before my laptop started dying, and it is quite good.
Yeah,
man.
Seeing Skyfall with a live orchestra is wild.
Yeah,
I could only imagine. That is exciting though. I do want to see if he comes to Chicago.
Yeah, I would see him with an orchestra. That'd be interesting. We could wear like suits.
I'm down. Us. Dude, could you imagine us
Mobbed
being
up,
called?
like-
Nah,
when people went
no
to
way.
when people mention Minions, like with the doing the thing.
Dude,
I'm out here looking
it's
like
meant to
Tony
happen.
Soprano. Like,
Look, if it happens, we're dressing in suits. I don't care.
I'll do it, dude.
We're
I'll
taking
do it.
photos and everything. We're doing it.
I have a killer black and silver suit.
Is one of you gonna be on fire
so.
like the album cover?
Yes, me.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god.
But speaking of amazing concerts, Tiny Desk has had some concerts coming out and some exciting ones. They had a sample one come out last week, I believe. And I don't know if you guys listened to the album, but his album was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And then also No Name had a new concert 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it features a new song from Ghetto Sage or whatever they're called with Smino and Saba. So check those out. Definitely worth checking out.
Definitely interesting. Yeah. I definitely think it's interesting that she did her Tiny Desk with No Name and with Smino and Saba.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they need an album.
I agree that they need an album. I really love all the Ghetto Sage songs a lot. I just think like No Name's kind of shielding herself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a rough
year for her.
Rough year in reality. Jasper, I'm gonna entrust this to you because I feel like I'm not gonna cover everything. What's going on with LaFleur?
Call me if you get lost, bitch. Yeah, LaFleur season 2 is coming out. Tyler is doing his thingity thing. I'm sure it's going to be insanely expensive, but insanely unique and high quality, like the last collection. Also, something we don't have on here that's kind of cool is Golf, his other brand, the standard brand, which is more like skate style apparel and like streetwear, is doing holiday pop-up shops, and one of them is right here in Chicago in Palmer Square Park.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so we should all go. It's really cool. They've got like merchandise from the fall winter drop, and they've like painted and redone like certain storefronts here, Atlanta, Austin, and like a couple other cities. So
what's the date?
It's pretty great. It's open now. It's open until December 20th or something. We should go. Once you're feeling not ill, we should all go together.
Most likely next weekend.
There's a leather patchwork
I'll have to
coat
get back to you on that.
I'm trying to check out.
I will go.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't know if I'm gonna have Tyler merch money in it for.
I'm just going for the vibes.
Just go for the vibes. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a cool experience, like a retail experience. They're gonna do like cool art on the walls and stuff. So I mean, it's like going to the Supreme store. You don't have to buy anything for it to be a cool thing.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of cool art in there too.
Yeah, the Unpaid Nobody's hit LaFleur.
Little vlog. Is this our vlog initiation?
We could do a vlog. I want to hate that.
Do a little vlog.
Gotta bring a little GoPro or something.
Ooh, put it on the head.
Yeah, there you go.
I would look like tools, maybe not.
We could just get the fuck out. We have better cameras in our pockets. I think we'll be fine.
That is also true.
Yeah.
We all have professional cameras as well. We could just use that. But anyway, in other merchandise news and shoe stuff, clothing stuff, Travis Scott has had a new collab with AP. Jasper, how much is the watch?
$201,000, and it's already sold out.
All right, moving on. I can't afford that.
One of 200, or 200 made total.
So that's that's dope for him, but I can't afford that. That's outside of my range. And then Spotify Rap is here.
Yeah,
it took over the
dude. This
was
was
a good week.
Yeah, I mean, as it always does. I don't know.
Yes.
Like, I think Spotify Wrapped. I think it's a cool marketing thing. Just as someone who's in marketing, I think it's very cool. I just think like it's kind of bizarre in the same way.
Explain.
First off, like, why does it come out in December?
Because it's wrapped presents. Come on now.
Okay, I guess that when you put it like that, that actually does make sense. But
it's wrapped.
We want January.
It's wrapped up. I mean, what do you want from me? That's what it's called. It's called marketing.
I know, you're right. Look, you don't have
but
to
it's
say
not. It's not. But like, it doesn't make any sense though, because like, Spotify's not a gift. Like,
it's a gift to you to know what your music is.
Sure, but it's like the whole economics around holiday marketing kind of go out the window when it's a streaming service. Like,
look, I am. If there is a vote, I am voting for January. So
yeah, I just think it should be in January, because like, it's so weird that they don't count like a quarter of the year. Like,
well, they count the previous January, so it's like you've got the fiscal year, the calendar year, and the Spotify year. They're all different rotations.
Does it count last year? I actually didn't know.
I don't think I don't think that's true. Like, I've never heard that.
I'm pretty sure it counts from when Spotify Wrapped ends, because the month that doesn't count towards it is like the middle of November prior to the release.
Yeah.
It like stops factoring at that point. So I think from then on continues into the next year.
Okay. I believe it. I don't know the numbers behind it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's cool. I also think it's like weirdly weighted. Cause like I brought it up with you, right? Like Travis Scott was on mine, and like, listen, I listen to Utopia a lot, right? Like, if every track from Utopia was on that playlist they give you, I would have been like, normal. That's fine. Right.
Okay.
But like, I'm someone who like actively avoided listening to Travis Scott for like 4 months before Utopia. Cause I just don't have the tolerance for him. And the thing that I think is super interesting is that above him was Run the Jewels and below him was Killer Mike. And it's like, Killer Mike is credited on all the Run the Jewels stuff separately.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it doesn't make it. And it's just like, it's something I've been seeing a lot, like through social media. You've said it too. It's like, I don't think I've listened to this much stuff. So I'm wondering, like, because yeah, they're just using the data, and yeah, like if you have data scrapers, you can kind of figure it out. But like, I'm starting to wonder if it's like weighted a little bit, which would make sense. Like, major labels, like the major labels are the majority stakeholders of Spotify.
Right. It wouldn't be a huge surprise. Yeah. It would suck if they did that, but it wouldn't be that surprising.
But like, you had a similar thing because of Drake, right? Like, you were like, Drake was your number one, and you're like,
yeah. Yeah,
like,
Drake
you're one. Like, I know he should be in my top 5, but like,
yeah, but definitely not number 1,
right? Like,
Drake was number 1, and then Frank Ocean was number 4, and it's just like, when I listen to Frank Ocean, I only listen to it in my playlist because I have every Frank Ocean on Spotify in that playlist. I have not listened to that playlist this year, like, at all. But I did test the Drake theory, because after we had that conversation, I was like, you know what? Maybe the numbers aren't wrong. Every single album in every single playlist that I have listened to since Spotify Wrapped, I let it shuffle afterwards.
Yeah.
One of the first 3 songs was a Drake song.
Yeah, no, it's a very similar.
Like, okay, it makes sense.
It's also sense. Like a very similar thing. Like, I have like that big playlist where I have like everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, every time I play it, I am no more than 5 tracks away from a Travis Scott like song. Yeah. which is like he is not very prominent on that playlist. Like he's there, obviously, but it's like I'm wondering, like, is there some kind of like fuckery going on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. Like
I finished Danny Brown album and Drake come on, and I was just like, there is no crossover here. Like, why is this?
Oh, I have to tell you, I don't care that this is live. I have to tell you what Rachel came into the room and said. We're living together now. She came into the room today. I'm working on the couch, and I'm watching music videos, which is just what I do, like while I'm working. And she comes in, and it's the first-person shooter video, and I pause it when they're playing chess on the thing, the messy thing. Yeah. And she just looks at the TV and goes, "What are the light skins plotting?" Like,
nice.
I was just like,
she's not wrong.
I'm along for this ride now.
Yeah, you're fully sold in. There's no escaping.
There's no escaping it. But yeah, so
that's dope.
But yeah, no. So like Spotify Wrapped. Yeah, Spotify Wrapped. Always fun. I like that they do this. I like that Spotify does like their whole data driven stuff. It's just starting to like I'm starting to wonder if it's as equitable as it seems.
Yeah, I get that. Jasper, did you have anything stand out?
Did you all like my Spotify Wrapped?
Yeah, it was all Travis Scott. Yeah,
I thought it was pretty.
All top 5 songs was the album.
Yeah,
I did listen to it a lot. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Were the artists accurate? Do you feel like?
I think they totally were. Like, okay. I mean, it was for me. It was Travis, Kid Cudi, Tyler, Frank Ocean, and Lil Uzi Vert, and that's like my main rotation now.
Jasper.
Now that Kanye has left a void, it has been filled by other people.
Yeah. Oh, like my number one was Turnstile, and I'm like, yep, that's 100% who it would be. Like that is that was 100% accurate. I'm pulling it up right now because I'm like,
no, my top 5 was spot on. I mean, besides the Frank Ocean one, which is questionable, but I also know Frank Ocean's going to come up. So, like, I don't even argue against it.
Yeah. And this was the year that we could really start judging people for
Kanye.
For Kanye.
There's 2 people I know. I won't say their names, but there's 2 people I know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I had Turnstile, Run the Jewels, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, which that was another one. Like, in what world do I listen to more Travis Scott than The Weeknd? Right? Like,
I would be scared The Weeknd wasn't on your top 5.
Right? Yeah. And Killer Mike.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Westside Gun made mine. I was very proud. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, Westside Gun always was in all of mine. Like, you know, they send you like the not wrapped smaller ones throughout the year. Westside Gun was on the top of all of them. I'm shocked he wasn't there. I think it's because like I listen to a lot of the Griselda stuff on like just like a playlist, like the same one you do, and I think it's just like it's not just Westside Gun. Like sometimes it's a Conway track, sometimes it's a Benny Butcher track, sometimes it's Boldy, sometimes it's The Alchemist, sometimes it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I fully agree. I guess since we all said mine, Drake, Westside Gun, Travis Scott, Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar. Very proud of Daniel Caesar. Not gonna lie.
No, that makes sense for you. Yeah.
I should have went to his concert.
Oh my god.
But anyway,
you should have. All right. Did you guys watch the cipher I was talking about?
I watched part of it. I didn't finish it.
Oh my
god.
I've seen clips online, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Man, this was like the best cipher since the 16.
Really?
Dude, it was really incredibly good.
I actually had a question because like typically XXL is like for that freshman class, this is something totally different, right?
Yeah,
because I feel like all these people are very established.
Yeah, they used to do. Yeah, a lot of them are very established. I mean, I have not heard of all of them. You know, I had not heard of the Don,
the Mellow Bucks, Maya the Don,
and Maya the Don. I had not heard of them. I have obviously know Flo Milli. I'm a big fan of Flo Milli, obviously. And Lotto, obviously. And but who was the girl, the other one that was wearing pink?
Monalio?
Yeah.
Is the other person?
She was the showstopper.
Really?
She was the one I sent you and you reacted to. Yeah, no,
honestly. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it was just I was just taken aback because it was like one of the strongest ciphers I've seen ever. So I thought it was really, really cool. I think like we really are like in a golden age of just like women in rap. So
absolutely,
it was something I really appreciated seeing.
I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like my issue right now is that like XXL just isn't pushing out that much quality. Well, not that much quality. I shouldn't say that, but like typically, I just don't follow XXL as much.
No, yeah,
I
they're
feel like the
not.
freshman ones haven't been as good.
No, 100%. Like I definitely think on a relevancy level, XXL is kind of like floundering, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think like as like a singular piece of work, I think this is something kind of
This
cool.
is pretty good.
Right, yeah.
And this
And
is
they
different
used to
from the
do
triple
more
stuff.
than just the freshman class.
Ah, I
You
see.
know, like it kind of just like died down to the point where it was just the freshman class. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's cool to see them do more and more and more stuff like this.
Maybe we'll see some more ciphers coming out there with
Yeah.
some themes or something. That would be dope.
Yeah.
I'm not against that at all.
Yeah.
Bet. Okay. And then
All right.
the last bit of news, the biggest bit of news.
Yeah, definitely the biggest news that has happened out
I just scared to say.
outside
GTA 6.
outside the Middle East. Yeah, GTA 6. 2025.
Man. I am excited. I'm so excited for that.
I'm gonna call off work for a week. I'm gonna be
Call off work for a month. Just grinding out.
I told I told Rachel, I'm like, Rachel, you think you've seen a Zelda release. You've seen a Spider-Man release.
You've seen nothing.
You've seen a God of War release, but you have not seen.
You just start floating in your just shining. It's like, what's going on? Brandon, come back.
She actually, like, we're actually this weekend we're gonna start playing Grand Theft Auto 5 because she's never played any Grand Theft Auto game.
Yeah.
And she was like,
"I'm sorry, now $20."
Yeah, I know. We're gonna buy it. She's gonna start a PlayStation thing. We're gonna buy it on her first thing. And yeah, so she's never played any Grand Theft Auto game. She's like, I would love to learn how to play those. Yeah,
that would be fun. I want to be in the party while she's playing. Yeah. Turn on share play.
We will. Yeah, we could do that.
Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, very excited for that. Jasper, get a console because it's not coming out on PC, at least not at launch. So please,
I'm working the back. I'm working the backlog. I have a console. I have an Xbox.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
What the heck? Well, you never use it.
Yeah, PC is superior in every way.
It really is. That's why I don't have an Xbox.
Did you know that frame
You're
rate?
not wrong. Yeah. You didn't have to say it. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been using it for years. Keyboard and mouse is my preferred control method anyway, so it's not even just like specs and shit. It's like I love being able to just move a camera with a mouse.
Do you prefer it for all games?
Everything except for racing.
Okay. I definitely respect racing. I don't know. I definitely feel like some games I got to do with the controller. Still, anything that's like first person, 100% keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
All day. Like I think it's objectively better. Right. Anything that has like fine aiming. Right. Like Grand Theft Auto. When I played on my PC, I would play keyboard and mouse until with an Xbox controller plugged in from when I got in the cars.
Smart. But honestly, if you do anything sports related with a keyboard and mouse,
I question like the sports games, I don't think you can. No. This opens up a whole bag of worms. Like fighting games, I don't think are as good with keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, I mean, I play like Smash Bros on a GameCube controller because I'm not a heathen. But yeah, I mean, for like
GameCube is the objectively best controller for Smash Bros.
For pretty much anything cross-platform that's not racing, my default go-to is PC because even if it's not meant for PC controls, you can rebind controls an infinite number of ways. So like any control scheme can be made on a PC.
Yeah, no, that is starting to come to consoles, which I think is fun and cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I'm very much into the PC. My thing is that like I just always had a PlayStation, and like I just kind of like the ritual of it. You know, is like it's almost like a spiritual argument. Right? Like I like the feeling of having a new game in my hands and like placing it in my PlayStation and then like playing it all weekend. And like and now that I have like a gigabit like internet hardwired into my PlayStation and like I can download Call of Duty in 10 minutes, like it almost feels like that.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't know. There are definitely games that I played on console when I didn't have a functioning PC or like a good PC or the games weren't out on PC that I did not enjoy the control scheme of it all, and it like you couldn't change it. I'm talking like Left 4 Dead on console is just miserable. Like the controls are terrible, and then the Metal Gear Solid games are a nightmare because they were made for PlayStation 2 and they came over to Xbox, and it was just like on PlayStation 2, square is shoot your gun.
In what
game? That's awful.
It's not right. Metal Gear Solid 2
yeah,
and Metal Gear Solid 3 actually, I think. So yeah, being able to rebind shit and just basically take an old game, any game like any era, and make it feel modern with like contemporary controls is for me just like mandatory. I love it.
No.
Like
it's been a trend, so it makes sense.
I'll give you one more example just real quick. I grew up playing like the Half-Life, like Half-Life 2, like all those like Source games and stuff, and then also like early Call of Duty on PC.
Yeah.
And pressing in middle mouse was always melee or knife in Call of Duty at that time. And even today in games like Halo, I'll rebind melee to middle mouse. So I'll be able to punch just by clicking in with my middle finger, and then I can keep my hands on like movement, so I can move up behind somebody and do that, and not have to worry about like shifting my grip or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It's tough for me, and I won't go on too long. I just feel like that kind of stuff is for like competitive gaming almost, and so I don't know if I ever took gaming that seriously.
Fair. I guess it's a muscle memory, like kind of thing.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's something to be said about. I think for a lot of games, especially a lot of the ones Jasper just talked about, like keyboard and mouse is just like a more frictionless like experience. I feel like it's way more intuitive. Like Halo, I feel like it's way more intuitive with like a keyboard and mouse than it is like with a controller.
And translates between games and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like at this point, I would not play a shooter game with a console controller ever.
Yeah, no. I'm doing it with Call of Duty right now for like nostalgia, and like something I do think is I think like especially for like shooters, I think like being a PC gamer like makes you better on console too. Like when you're just used to being able to like move that quick and think that quick, like it just adds muscle memory, and then you get better at like whatever play style you do. So like for some games, I think it's just like the prefer. Like I feel like playing a first person shooter on console is like playing basketball in Timberland boots. Like sure you can do it.
LeBron can.
Yeah, like sure you can do it, and like LeBron will probably still be like one of the best players in the world doing it. But like no one's better off. Even if you're not used to playing in gym shoes, it doesn't mean you're better off. Yeah.
But
all right.
So we've had a very long break. So I've been doing a lot of brainstorming, and I'm trying to think of something new to bring to the podcast, essentially. And I thought of a new bit called "School is in Session." Essentially, because we do grade albums by a schooling system, A, B, C, D, and F. I thought, why not actually start grading the careers of some of the rappers?
Sure.
So I found a website that completely randomizes 5 rappers, and we can do a quick 2 minutes. We have to come to agreement on a grading on a random rapper.
Okay.
And we'll do
we
5
have to come
every
to
episode.
it. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I like this.
Okay,
I love this.
Let me pull up the website super quickly. Hold on. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna do a random 5 right now, and we'll go one by one.
Just do one at a time. Can you generate them just one at a time?
Yes. Okay. So I have 5 here. I'm gonna go one at a time.
Okay.
So the first, I can't believe this is the first one. So the first one is Drake. I'm not even joking. The first one is Drake.
His entire career?
His entire career. You have to consider literally everything. Singles, the new stuff, the old stuff.
And we're ranking this out of 5? Like,
so
no, we're giving it like a grade like we do our
grade.
The same grade. So A, B, C, D, F, and I have a question mark for when we come across somebody we may not know.
Yeah.
I cannot believe this is the first person. I promise you it was not expected.
I'm going B minus. Like
I agree. I 100%.
I almost don't.
I'm going B minus.
B
and
minus,
like an evil B minus because like
what does that even mean?
It's just like, you know how we talk about like streaming-itis, like
Yeah.
the over commercialization of like the album into product, right? That's just what Drake did. Like that was just like
Yeah, I mean,
that
you're not wrong.
is
He is the
that is
face
like
of it.
Drake's like biggest impact on hip hop is that like is turning it into a most effective like product, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
a big black mark. I also think he has some classic albums, right? And I don't
He does
think
have some classic
and I
albums.
don't think this is a situation where like the bad marks out the good. Like they exist coincide. But like I think at the end of the day, I think like B minus, right? Like if
Yeah,
I would have a lot if we're talking album to album, you know, you can get me to say
it
some
differs
very
a lot.
positive things about Drake.
Yes.
But like and even some of the more recent stuff, I don't think his more recent stuff is without quality to it in its own way. Like I liked Her Loss. For All the Dogs is not a bad album. It's just like not nearly as good as I wanted it to be.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So I'm going B minus. What do you think, Purvis?
It's tough because I will say I want to include the plus and minus while discussing it, but on the chart I just have A, B, C, D just to keep it simple.
Nah.
I'm gonna say a very high B plus. I don't want to give him an A because like there is a lot that does taint his career, but
Yeah.
oh,
Like
man,
More
that's tough.
Life.
Like yeah, okay, yes, there's stuff that just dampens it a lot. It just gives it
Yeah,
a
right.
bad look.
Like
I'm not
wouldn't
even
it be
gonna lie.
great if we just had like Nothing Was the Same and if you're reading this it's too late.
Yeah, and Take Care. But anyway.
Oh, and Take Care. Obviously Take Care.
Jasper, I feel like you would give it the lowest out of all of us. So what
I
do
give
you
it a B
think?
minus. I
A B
agree.
minus?
We agree with
Okay.
B minus.
I mean, I think
We settle on it?
it's a strong early discography,
Yeah.
followed by like an undeniably commercially successful later part of the discography, but at the cost of creative mediocrity.
Yeah.
And at the cost of originality, because when you're going to appeal to that many people, you can't be original and you can't take risks, and that's just a limitation of being that big.
Yeah,
that's a big point. I like that.
All right, and like even early in his career, he was taking not huge, but some maybe big. Like
at the time,
the soft boy kind of thing was a big risk at the time. Yeah. So like he did it once, and I don't want to say coasted. I think he made some like really excellent art off that, and then he just didn't. So yeah, I think we're kind of locked in agreement on B minus.
From B.
I think from Views onward is like I would rate that significantly lower if I were going to just like scale it, but for the entire career, B minus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna put B because it's A, B, C. So I'm just gonna put B.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Dre. I'm going Dre. A. I'm just gonna say
A.
As a rapper or as like the entirety?
As everything. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his career. So let's do everything.
Okay, if it's his career, then I gotta give A, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
I think that's a no-brainer.
I mean, you think about it, he did technically go out on top. Like,
yeah, I have no complaints giving him an A. I think
it's almost like it's a boring answer, but no. Like, what do you say?
We never got the Detox album, but that means there's nothing to tarnish the Chronic 2001 being a certified classic.
It is a certified classic. I think we're so far out from it now that even if Detox does ever see the light of day. Right, like I don't think it really will impact the Chronic. I think even if it's really good, I think like he missed the train on that. Like like even if Detox came out and it was very very good, I don't think it would affect how people think about the Chronic.
Yeah,
and on top of all of that, you have to consider everything in his career, and I think just him being a producer alone and his image is enough to keep him at an A. He could drop a bad album, and I won't even care, to be honest.
I agree.
Okay, next one, DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, D.
DJ Khaled,
D.
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 Agreed.
You go for it with D. I mean, he's not that bad of a producer, but yeah.
What does he do? He gets people in rooms.
I mean,
he doesn't
even get people in rooms. He buys like unused takes and snippets and shit, right, and just mixes it together.
I'm just gonna say
I think sometimes he does, yeah. Also, like someone said once that just blew my entire mind was that Rick Rubin is just DJ Khaled with good taste.
Agreed. I 100% agree. Yeah. Hot take. I don't think Rick Rubin is all that, but that's another discussion.
I think in the realm.
I don't think Rick Rubin is all that. Like,
I think in the realm of hip hop, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah. Previous work is different, but I mean hip hop. Yeah.
I think in metal, I think he has had I think his work with Slayer and System of a Down was genuinely kind of profound. But yeah, no. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna put him as D. YNW Melly.
YNW Melly, Murder on My Mind.
Murder on my mind.
I got murder on my mind. A+.
That's all you will know.
Higher than Dr. Dre. Make sure he's above Dr. Dre.
Put him in the S tier. Make a whole new tier.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta do the only song I know by him is still my most listened to of the year. Like, I do really like that song. It's just that he doesn't have an extensive catalog, and I just haven't loved anything else. I haven't hated it either.
But I bet you I can give you 3 other songs you would know.
Yeah.
Suicidal, Mixed Personalities, and 223s.
Yeah.
I feel like you would.
No, yeah, I've listened to more of his stuff. I have. I just I don't think I've given it the complete due, and I also don't think it's that robust of a discography, right?
I agree.
So it's kind of like I would say it's like a neutral B, okay. Whereas Drake is it's a B because he has Take Care and Certified Lover Boy on his resume. This is more of a,
I mean, you can only judge him on what he's done.
Yeah, so you can only judge him on what he's done, right? And it's this is good, but there's certainly room for more, in my opinion.
Jasper, what do you think?
I don't know him well enough to have an opinion.
Just question mark.
Yeah, question mark. Totally. I've heard the hits, and that's it. I don't know the discography at all.
No, I mean that makes sense. I'm gonna say a high C, just because
the drink.
Yeah, like the drink. A C plus, just because he does have some great hits. I'm not gonna lie, and they were trending for a very long time. If they were out doing the TikTok craze, we would hear it nonstop. But on top of that, those are just one single off an entire album. There's a whole album to get through.
Yeah.
And it just does not hold any weight. So I'm gonna say a C.
Interesting.
So we have C, B, and question mark. Where do we want to settle?
I'll do C.
I don't know.
I'll go down to C.
C?
Yeah, we'll do C.
Okay. We have our last one. Brandon, you're gonna laugh because I brought this up during the week, and I promise you this is not on purpose. I clicked random. Big Sean.
Big Sean?
Big Sean.
Oh.
Jasper, you go first because you haven't talked first. I want to hear what your opinion is.
I mean, I think of features. I don't know the discography well enough again to have an opinion.
You got to Detroit. Give it a letter. You got to give it a letter though, at least from what you know.
A letter? I would say a B. I mean, it's a career that started off really strong in the early to mid 2010s, especially with his exposure through other people. And then didn't necessarily pan out in the way that it could have. I think there were certain missteps, not necessarily creatively, but just in terms of who he decided to work with and the way he marketed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like he is what Big Sean, hot take, real hot take inbound. Big Sean, this is like the A$AP Rocky Travis thing. Big Sean should have had the career that J. Cole has had.
No, I 100% was about to make that comparison.
Right? Thank you.
But not replacing J. Cole, right?
No, but I'm saying how A$AP Rocky was supposed to have that meteoric Travis Scott rise and just never did.
To me, I do see a kind of a combination. I don't think Big Sean is awful by any stretch.
No.
I don't think he's bad by any stretch. I just think he's fairly bland. And he's just to me, I do think he feels more like a bland J. Cole. Now, look, I've liked him on I loved his feature on the Larry June project this year. I like Detroit too, but I just have never really loved any of his projects. He's an artist that my admiration for is way higher than my affection. You know, like the respect I have for him is larger than like the actual enjoyment I get from his music.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably say a B. Right, a B or a C.
So, funny enough, I actually brought this up to Brandon like a week or two ago because we were discussing possibly sneak peek, new episode might have a hot take episode.
Oh yeah.
One of my like first hot takes I thought of was like, there's no reason Big Sean shouldn't be like an A tier like headliner artist, and like you said, he could easily have the same projection as J. Cole. But I also do realize that like Big Sean is a hit maker. Like
Yeah.
just
It's like if J. Cole
hit.
and T-Pain were the same person.
Yeah.
Literally. Marvin and Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Dance.
Yeah.
I Do It. High. That's all off of like the first album. Then we have like Hall of Fame. Then we like I have a soft spot for this, but I love I Decided. Dark Sky Paradise. Like he has Blessings, Play No Games. These aren't even the features. These are his songs.
He's
so
on
like
so
personally,
many hits too. Yeah,
he is on countless hits.
Yeah.
His feature, he's like a J. Cole type of feature. It almost always hits. I haven't heard like that many, or
does
really
it hit
any
successfully, or does it hit
not as hard as J. Cole, but it is always satisfying.
Yeah.
For me to listen.
Like I think you're making a very good argument that like he does have hits and like,
but it's hits.
It's hits.
I don't think he has a concept album,
and like it's like normie, like it's very like
it's club hits.
It's very it's like the people we worked with at Best Buy listen to Big Sean. You know what I mean?
It's for it's good music, but
it's not. Yeah, it's not bad, right? I just like I have never felt like listened to Big Sean and been like, shit, Big Sean. Now I know a ton of people who love Big Sean.
Yes.
So like once again, like I do not want to be out here saying that like I think he's like a bad artist. I just think like when it comes to good music, I think he was by far like the least interesting.
No, I get that.
I will say, Seamus.
God, I hate you so much.
large Sean.
But seeing him at Lala blew my mind.
Yeah.
But hit after hit after hit. There were more people there than like anyone I've seen.
Yeah, it was massive crowd. Massive crowd.
He could have been an headliner. But
yeah, 100%.
I won't keep going on. I think he's an A, but I will settle for a B. I think that's completely fair.
Okay, we'll do
All
B.
right. So yeah, that is 5 for this week. We'll be back next week. But yeah, that's school is in session.
That was fun. That was a good one, Purvis.
Yes, sir. So yeah,
you just have to remember that if we go over ones that we've done,
yes,
we would have to like just cycle until we get 5.
Absolutely.
All right, that was fun. Yeah. All right, are we ready? Are we ready to talk about the saddest album of the year?
This was actually very sad. Now
it was very sad. It was not like what Quaranta by Danny Brown. It was not what I typically associate with Danny Brown.
Mm.
Right? Like
this was a grown man album.
This was a grown man album. This really I feel like this is to like alternative hip hop and like weird I don't want to say underground because I think that's unfair, like weird. But I'll say like alternative. I think this is to like alternative hip hop what like Michael was to like southern hip hop and like 444 was to like hip hop proper. This really felt like some introspection shit, but man. And it was a sound that you don't really expect from Danny, which is that very like downbeat, tempered. It was not atrocity exhibition. It was not
controlled. Like
yeah, it was very controlled. It was very measured. I think like he brought all the energy that I would want from Danny Brown. I think all the emotion was there, but it just wasn't. It felt like an album about aging in every way.
Oh, absolutely. And coming off of Scaring the Hose,
especially because like Scaring the Hose is like, all of that like turned up to 1 billion. Yeah. So I think he's had some at a hell of a year, and I think this is an album I'm enjoying quite a lot.
Yeah, I get that. Should we start from the background knowledge then? How'd you find Danny Brown? How long have you listened to him, etc.?
Sure.
Because at least for me, Danny Brown, I found him from the Atrocity album. Um, I don't remember who put me on, but I do remember it was like, oh, this is insanely high energy.
Yeah.
Ain't It Funny is amazing. Rolling Stone is amazing. Really Doe is probably one of his best songs ever.
Really Doe is like one of the best songs of that decade.
Literally. So that album was phenomenal. And so I discovered him. I believe I found him when it first came out back in 2016. But it definitely was one of those like, oh, this is a weird rapper. So
Yeah.
like I'm gonna enjoy them for myself. I'm not this isn't someone like you're gonna go out and just like have casual conversations about
Yeah,
this
no,
album.
he scares the host. Yeah, you're right. Like,
Literally, quite literally.
no.
Um, but that was pretty much my background. That's how I found them. I did go back to listen to old because I believe one of the songs is in a GTA game or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what it
Dip.
was.
Dip
Yeah.
is in a GTA game. And Kush Coma, I believe. But that's my background. And like I've been riding with him ever since. I enjoy his music. He isn't on like my rotation, but
Yeah.
like I have no problem going back and listen to his discography.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Jasper, do you want to go next?
Sure. I mean, in terms of like how I discovered Danny Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the origin story, I guess.
Well, I'd heard him as a feature, but I'd never listened to him until this podcast, like as a solo artist.
Okay.
The first track I think I ever heard of his was probably in 2014, the Shady Studios or Shady Records Detroit versus Everybody, where he's featured,
Oh
and I
yeah.
was like,
Oh,
he's got a strong feature on there, and I was impressed.
He had
Um,
an incredible feature run
yeah,
in like 2012 to 2014.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of what I've heard of his solo stuff so far. Like I like some of his earlier solo stuff that I listened to. Scaring the Hose was not my bag at all. Um,
same.
but this album I definitely can resonate with more so. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now I've been following Danny Brown ever since the One Train
Oh
dropped.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
heard
song.
that. I heard that and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Right? Like, and then it was he also had a feature on Childish Gambino's Royalty.
Oh
Oh
shit, I forgot
wow.
about that.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think Old was like the one that was like out when I was like I got around to like checking him out.
Mhm.
But it really wasn't until Atrocity Exhibition where it's like, oh wow, this guy is like in your
Legit.
face. And like, you know, kind of the over the top, in your face griminess of his earlier work. Is kind of the stuff that attracted me to it. Like that was like it was very like grungy, alternative, like very I don't want to use the word authentic. I feel like that's not completely true, but it was just very like material. It reminded me a lot of like punk music and like that kind of scene and that stuff. So
Okay.
like I from there I was hooked, and then there was Atrocity Expedition, and then I think in 2019 he dropped You Know What I'm Saying. Or was that 2020?
It's 2019. You're
Yeah.
right.
And I thought that was a good album, but
It
I
fell
don't know,
off
it
a little
left
bit.
a lot to be desired, right? I don't
Yeah.
think I think it is if I think a fun episode we could do is like take all these artists who have never released a bad album and compare all their worst albums, right? And I think this would be
Mhm.
like a strong contender for that because it's a good album. It just is very clearly like his weakest.
Yeah.
So this coming back is like I think very much like the other side of the coin of Atrocity Exhibition, and I'm really enjoying it.
I fully agree with that. So I guess I should ask then, what were the expectations coming into this? Because like you really enjoyed Scaring the Host.
Yeah.
So did you want something similar to that?
I wondered if it would be. Right?
Okay.
I wondered if it would be, but honestly I wanted something different. I wanted something that didn't feel like Scaring the Host, cuz like why would you want that? Like, you know, and even my thing is like I wanted to know how it was going to compare to Triple X 30.
Mhm.
Because like this is like the sister album to the album he Triple X is the album he released when he turned 30, This is the album that commemorates him turning 40.
Mm.
So like I kind of was unsure of like what my expectations were, but pretty quickly this is like probably by like track 3 I was like, no, this kind of like downbeat, gritty, not super in your face, kind of like letting everything be musical and like breathe. Like I think this is exactly what I wanted.
Mm.
Right. This was
I
an
agree
album
with
that
that.
was like kind of hard to have expectations for, which like can be a big benefit, but not always. You know what I mean?
Mm. I mean, the thing is, at least for me, because Danny Brown isn't super common in my rotation,
Yeah.
like it does give me the benefit of just like, oh, I'm just gonna go in and enjoy it. Like
And
I don't have any expectations.
I'm the same. Because like as much as I admire Danny Brown, he's not someone I listen to a lot. Right?
Mm.
I'll go back maybe every other year and be like, oh, I want to listen to Atrocity Exhibition. Maybe once a year I go back and listen to a handful of his albums, right? And usually it's like an album, like the equivalent of watching a movie. I listen to the album, I'm like, that was sick, and then I'm done for a year and a half. This year was
Mm.
probably the year I listened to him the most because of Scaring the Hose. Like, I
Yeah.
think, and I still wonder if that's his best release to date, even after this. It's between that and Atrocity Expedition for me.
I mean, the thing is for me, because coming into this, I've said it before. I understand why some people do like Scaring the Host. I don't think it's a bad album in any sense, but like, I also know it's just not in my circle. I just found my first like experimental hip hop album that I like, and I will be mentioning later.
I just don't even know like how experimental Scaring the Hose even is.
It's not traditional.
I
Say
don't know, like yeah,
that.
like it's not. This is not Derringer produced,
No,
but
yeah,
like yeah, like
it's not something
yeah,
insane. Absolutely not. I don't want to make it seem like
yeah.
it's
It's not like Death
unheard of.
Grips, like
Yeah, it's not. I will not compare it to Death Grips. I won't go that far, but I do understand, and I think Danny Brown also is aware of this. That like Danny Brown fits within a certain circle that JPEG Mafia also fits in. That like it just
yeah.
made sense. Like it was a good album.
Oh
It
yeah,
makes
no,
sense
like them
that they worked
teaming
together.
up was like the
Yeah,
most
it's like a
obvious.
no brainer type
Yeah,
thing. But because of that, I didn't want that, to be honest. I have not returned to Scaring the Hose at all, not even a little. Um, so as soon as I listened to it, I was hoping for the Atrocity experience. Um, but it was so mellow and down to earth. Like I was listening to it on one of those drives home from downtown. It's the perfect length. It's 30 minutes. Like,
yeah,
let me just get through this. It's gonna be great. But like because of the pacing and because of how real it was, like it took me a couple songs where I was just like, wait, this is like real. Like this is the topics that he's coming up with, the
yeah,
subject, how he's expressing how he feels throughout the music. I was like, this is like some real grown man stuff. Like this is him
yeah,
after working in a podcast for a while, experiencing some real things in life, having the outlet of the podcast to express it more openly and in a way that's more understanding and applying that towards the music. I think it plays a big part into it that I wanted to mention as well. And I feel like it's giving him the chance to maybe express himself in a different way and
yeah,
maybe be more open to some of the subjects like this because he's talking about cheating, aging, like all kinds of like really
yeah.
serious
No, he's
stuff.
talking about. Yeah, this is a very yeah. No, the subject matter in this is very serious.
Yeah, it's very heavy, but I loved it honestly.
Yeah, and like really, I think like he gets you from the. I think from the opening line, I think like it really sets the stage where he's like, "Hip hop saved my life and fucked it up at the same time," right?
That's a
And it's
bar.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
um, and it was just like very fun to see Danny Brown like like just not be so off the wall,
Yes,
right?
I
Because like
agree. Yeah,
that's what he's always been, right? Like, uh, so hearing like that opening, like it just sets the stage perfectly. And like there are like some more high energy tracks, like Tandor, like the second track, uh, definitely has like a lot more of like a kinetic energy, like a push to it. But
mm.
yeah, no, I this wrecks you a little bit. I heard this on a plane. I downloaded it to my phone and I was like, this is how I'm gonna get myself through this flight.
What a flight you had.
Yeah, it was good. I had no complaints.
But I will say you brought up a really good point because I feel like not necessarily just Danny Brown, but there's a lot of artists just out there in general, every genre, that kind of place themselves into a bubble, or maybe the community places them into a bubble and they have to act a certain way.
Yeah,
This is a Danny Brown I've never seen before,
yeah,
and
no,
it's very different. I didn't expect it, and it's nice to see his artistic ability come out and being expressed in a totally different way. It makes me appreciate him so much more as an artist.
I agree.
I completely agree with that. Right, it adds a dimension. Like I really think like the one noteness of not one noteness, but like Danny Brown stuff is always like in your face and like I think like this is like the ultimate trump card against like people who I think marginalize him because of that alternative sound. You know, like this is the album where it's like now there's really no argument that like he's like not a dynamic artist, you know. I think there are a million artists in this world who would kill to have the range Danny Brown does.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know. I think regardless of your feelings on scaring the hose, I think being able to release a project like that and a project like this in the same 12 months,
Yes,
that
that's another
is
great point.
that is a,
Yeah,
you know, an accomplishment.
I fully agree. Even if I don't like Scare the Hose, I respect it a lot.
Yeah.
And him being able to do this in the same calendar year, that's crazy.
Yeah. And we have like apparently Scaring the Hose Volume 2 is like on the way.
Man can do both talents. So I guess we should go off.
Yeah, let's
I
go.
guess the first listen, highlights, lowlights, kind of the track list
Yeah.
breakdown.
Well, I think Quaranta, the opening track, I think is like one of the like it was a highlight to me just like how well it set that up, like the idea of like this being about like turning 40, this
Mhm.
like being about like taking this as a moment to like look back on life. I thought it was one of the best openers that we've had this year, and we've had a lot of really stellar openers this year.
Ooh, I do agree with that. In terms of setting a stage for the rest of the album, definitely one of the better openers. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also loved the Dark Sword Angel. I think was like a little bit more of like a little bit more the fun, one of the more fun
Mhm.
tracks, and it has
That's
the
the same sample as Red.
yeah, Red Death from 10
Yep.
last year. Yeah, no, I
It's the first thing I noticed
picked that up. Yeah.
immediately. I was just like, oh wow, what are the chances of them using the same sample like a
Yeah,
year apart?
especially because like this, I know this album has been in the making for a while.
Mhm.
Can you all decide which sample's my favorite on this? Which song?
Which sample's your favorite? Oh no, I caught it earlier. I was gonna bring it up. There's a sample. Oh no,
It's from
Jasper, I know what it
It's
is.
used in one of my favorite songs, like literally one of my favorites.
Jasper, I know what it is. I thought about it earlier, but I forgot to
Come
write
on,
it down.
come on now.
I have no idea what it would be.
I heard it too. I heard it, and I was like, "Is that what I think that is?" But I didn't like add it to my notes.
It's what you thought it was.
Jen's Terrific Vacation.
Yes.
That's an
Oh my
amazing
God.
song. But
That-
what's the sample?
That opening is the same sample that's carried throughout 5% Tint off of Astroworld.
Yes, I caught that. I did. I forgot to add it to my notes, but yes.
I think it's really funny because we have a coworker named Jen. What's up, Jen?
Yes.
Who I saw tonight, and she's always going out of town and stuff. Yeah, and it's like, oh hey, like terrific vacation, cool.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. It's also a great play on gentrification.
Totally.
Yes.
Because that yeah. No, that I did not catch that, but yeah, no, that's a great sample catch.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, I do really love like how it's interesting. Like it's an interesting intersection, like the production here, because I think it's very downbeat and it really lets Danny take the front, but it's also very lush, right? There's a lot going on. It is not like skeletal. You know what they mean? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I fully agree with that. It's full of color and all different kind of sounds, and even though this is a more relaxed Danny Brown, the music did not relax. I'll say that. I think the highlight for me is Celibate. That song
Celibate is
slaps,
amazing. Yeah,
and the
Celibate
play on
is.
the
That song is
words,
really good.
so good.
Yeah,
And
no,
I've been on the Mike phase too.
Mike
Man,
is great. Yeah, Mike is
they're just doing
fantastic.
phenomenal. I We should listen to his album.
Yeah,
I wanted to say that as well. He dropped an album this year. You might be surprised if it show up at the end of
yeah,
the year. It's very good.
yeah.
Um,
I also think like another one, dude. I think this has been a year with amazing closing tracks.
oh yeah,
Right? Like
this is a good close.
I am a big proponent of like especially like sequenced albums. I have a completed an unfinished video essay about like the last tracks on Run the Jewels albums because
Mhm.
I think Bass Jam is another incredible closing track that like is just like such a tender and soft moment. And if I needed to guess like what is something I didn't think Danny Brown could handle, it's something like that. It's something like a soft song talking about the R&B music his mom used to play.
Mhm.
Right? Like that is the kind of thing that I thought would be completely outside of Danny Brown's wheelhouse. But being able to pull it off in a track like this, top 10 track of the year, 100%.
Yeah, I love that a lot. And like the bass in it goes crazy. The actual meaning behind it, like you mentioned, the R&B stuff of him growing up, it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I feel like on top of that, Hanami for me, the
Yeah,
second
I
to
was
last
like,
one,
yeah, Anami.
him, yeah, him actually talking about like time waits for no man and have it all being circled around him being 40. Like it's a perfect. The album's really good.
It's a
Just to get
super
that out the way,
tight
but
conceptual
it's
album, right?
good. Yeah, exactly. The flow of the lyrics, where they come in, it's placed very well. You did very very well with this. For me, this is my Absol of the year. Last year I had Absol in January. This is my January Old Man
Yeah,
album.
no, and yeah, no, it does feel, man, I do love the Old Man albums, right? It does feel in
Man,
line with like the Absol, uh,
Michael,
Michael. It
Four
feels
444.
444.
444,
I think is like the
absolutely.
progenitor of that, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And to
They've been
think,
doing well.
if he weren't so stuck in his ways about it, we could have had one from Andre 3000, but we never will.
what do you mean? We got
His
his flute album. Came out
Yeah,
the
but
same
like,
day
his
as
flute album.
Quaranta. The
but him
true
actually talking
victim,
about,
the true victim of the Drake Andre 3000 like battle was Quaranta.
Corona. No, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
it's tough.
understand your point, Jasper. I feel like a lot of people in the community want it, but like, it's Andre 3000. It's just
I know.
Yeah.
what do you say?
I have like, I'm so bitter about his like whole take on why not to do it. I just don't think it's makes sense or is fair to himself, but whatever.
Yeah.
I do have a question then, since we're playing with this. What is an old head artist that you want a closing album from?
Dr. Dre, I want
Yeah.
Detox.
Yeah.
Okay.
An album like
Okay.
this from Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. I think like if you get like if you got man, imagine if you almost did like the fucking the America's Most Wanted thing where he reaches into a new region and gets like their best producer and like
Yeah.
just makes like a conceptual album. I would love like a conceptual 50-year-old Ice Cube reflecting back on his life, partnered with like a young, like give me a Metro Boomin.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, with
That would
Ice
be dope.
Cube. I think that would be, but I don't think that will ever happen.
No.
I think someone who could use it because like I
Are you
think
gonna say Eminem?
no.
Okay.
Kanye.
No, not Kanye either, because he's a one trick pony, but the trick is great, and it's just like if he wants to just like pad that out, I think if Pusha T kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
did kind of
Damn.
like a
Pretty Gibbs too.
yeah. Right,
Yeah, but
like I
Pusha
think
T
if Pusha T did something like I think this should be the model for his next project, right? I think it would
Yeah.
give him at least 2 more projects of like, because then he can do another one that's just it's always dry too, and it's just cocaine bars for 35
Always
minutes,
right.
which is which actually was the album I listened to immediately after this on the plane.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I have one answer,
What?
and I think it's the right answer.
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Lupe
last
just
year,
turned 40.
last year he had the one. You
Ooh,
know.
wait.
It's a closing out track
I've
from
got
Lupe
one.
or Lil Wayne, one of the two, and I'm good.
Oh yeah. I just don't think Lil Wayne could do it. That's my thing. Like I just don't know if he's an album artist anymore. And it
Yeah.
sucks
Rightfully
because
so.
He used to be.
He
All right.
used to be. All right,
Snoop
Jasper, what's
Dogg.
yours? Yeah. How old is Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg's really old.
Yeah.
He's like almost 60, right?
Jeez,
No,
I
I think
don't
he's like
know.
actually younger. I think he's like older than
Is
he.
he?
I think he's older than he. I think he looks older than he is.
He's 52.
52.
Yeah.
Just looking
Okay.
it up.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre's
So
older.
he's
That's
up
what I'm
there.
thinking
He's
of.
up there.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre just did he turn 60 recently? I remember he had a birthday.
58. 58.
58. Okay,
Yeah.
He's
that's what it
close.
was.
He's
Oh,
close.
it was a big deal because he was recovering from having an aneurysm. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of old heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
but
even
Snoop
think about
Dogg, think about it. You go through your entire career basically making party hits and sliding in on other people's tracks to sound cool. And then you come out with something that's like seriously substantial at the end of your career.
Especially if he could do it, like pull together some of the best talent on the West Coast. Like imagine if
Yeah.
Anderson .Paak helped him produce that album.
Slow
He owns
Kendrick
Death Row
bars
now.
over a Snoop Dogg track. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It can happen. He does
Yeah.
own Death Row. He can make it all happen. Pay them people.
Yeah. No, I definitely think. You know who I think in maybe 5 years would be able to drop like an incredible one, because I think he
Who?
has like a very specific view of everything, is Action Bronson.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. I can do that.
Yeah. Who, by the way, I'm actually seeing 2 days after Travis.
Are you
Nice.
serious?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing Action Bronson?
The Vic Theater.
The Vic
Hell
Theater?
yeah, dude. That's
Decent,
my
decent.
backyard right there.
I love the Vic Theater. Yeah. It's
Not
we
bad.
saw Stavros Halkies.
Yeah.
His
Did Hefe get you the ticket?
yeah, we did that. Me and Hefe saw that in April, and then me and Rachel saw Michelle Wolf.
You
Yeah.
need to get those 990 V6s that he's got dropping.
Yeah.
That seems like a big branded shoe.
Yeah.
66.
All right. So do we want to
Action
go?
Bronson, New Balance.
Yeah.
V6.
But think about it. He's been a chef. He's been
Yeah.
a he's been a rapper.
Chef.
He's been
Yeah.
a wrestler.
He's been cheffing up. Yeah.
When we rank his career, he's getting an S.
Yeah,
for
he's
cooking only.
Dude, I love Action Bronson, dude. Another person I would love to do like the sit and reflect on his life, because I think he's been way more influential than I think he is actually famous, is LP. I think he would be, yeah, he would be one just like I would love to see like his, give me Jamie.
You just gave me an idea.
Nah.
What about Common?
Common would be great.
Common could do
That
something.
would
That
be
could be
great.
really interesting.
I think, Jasper, I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite interactions with my girlfriend's extended family. Was
Mhm.
I was talking hip hop with like one of her cousins, like one of her baby cousins.
Yeah,
I say that he's probably like 23, 24 or something like that.
sure.
And he's like, who do you think are underrated? And I'm like, oh, I think like Belly, Big Crit, and Mick Jenkins are underrated. And he
Good
goes,
answers.
yeah. And he's like, oh, I think Common's the most underrated rapper. And I'm like,
Dude,
yeah,
How
I'm
old
like
are you?
not, I'm like, but I'm like not where I'm from. Like I respect,
I'm from Chicago.
I respect that you've lived in Philly and Atlanta, but like it's like where I'm from, Common is not.
Even still,
underrated.
even there, they should know Common.
No,
He
like
should
they
be
know
up.
Common. He was just like, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. And I'm like, that's fair.
That is
Like
fair.
I don't
Yeah.
hate that you said that because I like Common. I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
I'll
one
never
more.
be upset at your praise. Yeah.
One more after everything that's happened. Quavo.
oh
yeah.
yeah, no Quavo.
Give
Like,
him another 5 years.
That's
Go on the
but that
age a
that's
little
what
bit.
was that single he put out? I forget what it's called.
What
Yeah,
about
he
it?
put out the single like the really retching one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
all right, when
Yeah.
Takeoff died.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
no.
dude, that is like
Yeah, no, that
completely different side of the coin. Like, come on, let's get more of
that
that.
was like.
And he performed that too.
Quavo
Yeah,
could
he
put
did.
out an album that would shatter you. Like that would
Even Future. Like, imagine if he steps back from the whole
Man.
scene and then does something heavy about his
Hold
own
on,
life,
hold
like
on.
reflecting.
the thing
No.
I would
I
say
don't know
I
if
have
he
a
can do that. I don't know
my
if
thing
he can
about
do it.
Future is that like it would just be him making an album in a different genre. That's already what he does.
That's what I
It's
was
just that
gonna
he does
say.
it in trap music, right?
I
Like,
mean,
it would,
maybe.
It's
but-
trap R&B. You're
but
gonna
at the-
love it.
but at the same time, yeah, like I think he could do that with just different subject matter. Like, I remember reading an interview with him where when he met Juice WRLD for the first time before they did, World on Drugs.
Great.
And he saw the the direct influence that he had on like a younger generation through Juice WRLD and like the impact that his music had, and he had like an eye-opening moment. It's like, what if we get something like that distilled into like
yeah.
a tight 12-track album or something.
It could. The thing is that like I just do think that Future's like I don't think Future's like a lyrical genius, but I think like a lot of the substance in his albums is like really like real and like down there, like it
True. I
just
mean, I guess
it's
he's
just
just the presentation
the
is
presentation just isn't there. Like I agree with what you're saying. It's just you know what I mean. Like I don't hate this thought. I'm just like, is he kind of doing that already?
Yeah, I guess to an extent he is. It's
Yeah.
just people are. It's like swimming pools. It's
Yeah,
like
it is like
let's
swimming pools.
party.
Yeah. All right. So do we want to give Quaranta a grade?
Yes, sure.
Cortana.
Stop it.
Let's do it.
Cortana. I'll give it an A-, B+, A-.
I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it an A, not plus.
Okay.
Right. Because I will say this, it's like all Danny Brown albums. Like I go back, I listen to it, I enjoy it, but I'm not really listening to it track by track at all.
Yeah.
I give it a B. I love the introspection and the tonal shift on the latter half, basically from Jill or not Jill's, whatever it is, onward. Jen's Terrific Vacation onward is I'm a big fan. I don't necessarily care for the first half as much.
Yeah,
I get that.
I think it's like it's very hard for me to get into it at that point, and then it catches me about halfway through. But like if I were a casual listener, I know I would have turned it off prior and not have gotten to that. So for that reason, for me, it's just not as impactful.
That is a good point. The
That's
podcast made you push through. Yeah, it's a mood album for me. I have to be in the mood, but if I listen to it and I'm in the mood, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, true, totally.
All right, but should we do recommendations then?
Let's do recommendations.
Wrap us up.
All right, so this is another artist I listened to on the way to Philadelphia. There was someone who was recommended to me in a TikTok. It was like, oh, if you liked T-Show Touchdown, but you want something that's a little bit more, this is Girls Like Drugs by Paris, Texas. They're a group out of Texas. They're fantastic. I'm a big fan.
Girls Like Drugs, okay. Based.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Jasper, you ready?
Loud Pipes by Rat-a-tat.
Ooh, Rat-a-tat's dope.
This is an iconic song. It's instrumental. You'll know it the second you hear it.
Okay, I was going to say, I probably just don't recognize the name.
No.
But okay, fair enough. The first song I'm going to do, actually, I mentioned it earlier, but I finally found an experimental hip-hop song or hip-hop album that I like a lot. I don't know if I'm saying the name right, but Quaranta. He dropped. He dropped an album last year. It was really good. I just listened to it this week. The song I'm going to pick is "Fractions of Infinity," and it actually features the Sunday Service Choir.
Oh, interesting.
Very good song. Very good song.
All right, so my next one, I'm recommending one of the most popular songs of all time.
Okay.
I'm recommending "Bad" by Michael Jackson.
Yo.
Fair enough.
Because
can't go wrong with that.
I'm bad. It's so good, dude. So good. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
no one's saying anything.
Get the fuck out of here if you don't think that song slaps. If you don't love "Bad" by Michael Jackson, I hate you. Like,
fair enough. All right, Jasper, what's going on? What are you cooking over there?
Juice WRLD featuring Marshmello, Come and Go.
Oh, I love that song.
It's been coming up on the rotation a lot, just like on shuffle. And it's been stuck in my head a lot.
I love that song.
That album. I'll take.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love that song. I'm probably going to listen to it right now. Now that you said it, now I have to listen to it.
Big fan.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
One of the few times a Juice WRLD song starts sad and actually gets like upbeat.
Happy.
Yeah,
he ended happy.
And Marshmello, hey, did it to him.
He's not a bad producer.
No, yeah, I'm a big fan of Marshmello's early work.
I'm not really a big fan of his solo work, but a lot of his crossover into hip hop, I've been a fan of.
True.
I've genuinely liked. All right, happy to be back. We got a lot of rip roar. Oh my god, go ahead.
We got one more. But yeah, I'll wrap it up very quickly. I've been looking for a new genre to get into, and you, Jasper, you are partially credited to this, but I'm going to start getting into EDM And
Let's go.
It's hip hop, R&B, gospel, and now EDM.
Damn, I've been trying to get you into hardcore for months.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Hey, you like Turnstile?
I guess so. Is that hardcore?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
It's just like very polished pop hardcore, which is like a weird.
It's like saying is Frank Ocean R&B.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Or The Weeknd at that point.
Yeah, like
right. Honestly, yeah. All right, but I've been going to a bunch of EDM concerts actually recently. And I have been listening to a bunch of music on shuffle. I found Louis the Child, and the song "Better Not" is a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually so glad that you recognize it because I didn't know if anybody was going to.
I gotta put you on some stuff. I'm gonna send you some playlists.
Yeah.
I'm diving in.
Yes.
But yeah, we made it. All right, Brandon, give your speech.
All right. No, we're out. We have so much crazy shit coming for the end of the year. Still got to make the Golden Nugget, but we'll figure that out.
Can we actually go to the Golden Nugget by my place?
I'm down.
I'm down.
It's around the corner.
Down.
Yeah, I'm down.
I am down.
I'm down.
Golden Nugget?
Down.
Come on.
Okay. Yes, we definitely.
What kind of question is that?
Yes, we can. We got to figure it out, but yes, we can. Like,
oh, yeah.
All right.
It's mandatory.
Until then, we back. See you next week. That's declaring the end of the episode.
Literally.